November 1966. A cold wind moved through the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The streets were quiet. Most people were asleep. But just outside town, something was watching from the darkness. What began as a strange local rumor would soon become one of the most terrifying paranormal legends in American history. Because multiple witnesses claimed they saw the same thing. A towering human-like creature, over 6 feet tall, massive wings folded against its body, and glowing red eyes that seemed almost hypnotic. People would later call it the Mothman. It started on a lonely stretch of road near an abandoned TNT factory outside Point Pleasant. The area had once been used during World War II to store explosives. By the 1960s, it had become a decaying wasteland of concrete domes, rusting metal, and dark, empty tunnels. Locals avoided the place at night. Not because of ghosts, but because something about it felt wrong. On the night of November 15th, 2 young couples were driving through the area. Roger and Linda Scarberry, Steve and Mary Mallette. As they passed the old power plant, they noticed movement near the shadows. At first, they thought it was a large man standing beside the road. Then it moved. The creature slowly unfolded enormous wings, and its eyes reflected bright red in the headlights. Linda later said the eyes looked like bicycle reflectors glowing in the dark. Nobody spoke for several seconds. Then the creature started moving toward the car. Too fast. Roger slammed the accelerator. The car sped down the road. But when they looked back, the thing was following them. The witnesses claimed the creature flew behind the car at nearly 100 miles per hour. Its wings never seemed to flap. It simply glided above them silently. The red eyes remained locked onto the vehicle the entire time. The terrified group finally reached town and reported the encounter to police. At first, officers assumed the teenagers were making the story up, until more reports began coming in. Over the following weeks, Point Pleasant descended into fear. More people claimed they had seen the creature. Some spotted it standing in fields late at night. Others claimed it appeared outside their homes, staring through windows. One woman said she woke up to strange noises outside her house. When she looked through the curtain, 2 glowing red eyes were staring back at her from the darkness. Dogs reportedly vanished. Strange sounds echoed through the forests. and witnesses described an overwhelming feeling of dread whenever the creature appeared. Then things became even stranger. People started reporting bizarre paranormal activity connected to the sightings. Unexplained phone calls filled with static, shadow figures inside homes, electrical interference, nightmares. Some residents believed the creature was not an animal at all, but some kind of supernatural warning. A local newspaper picked up the story, and suddenly, Point Pleasant became national news. Reporters flooded the town searching for answers. Paranormal investigators arrived. Even UFO researchers became involved after mysterious lights were reported in the sky near the TNT area. One man became obsessed with the case. Author John Keel. He believed Point Pleasant was experiencing something far stranger than a simple monster sighting. According to Keel, witnesses were encountering phenomena connected to UFOs, psychic events, and entities beyond human understanding. The deeper he investigated, the darker the story became. Then came December 15, 1967. Rush hour traffic filled the Silver Bridge connecting West Virginia and Ohio. Without warning, the bridge collapsed. Cars plunged into the freezing river below. 46 people died. The disaster shocked the nation. But inside Point Pleasant, people immediately remembered the Mothman. Because many witnesses believed the creature had appeared shortly before the collapse. To them, the sightings were never random. The Mothman was a warning, an omen of disaster. And after the bridge collapse, the sightings almost completely stopped. To this day, nobody truly knows what people saw near Point Pleasant. Skeptics claim the witnesses probably saw large birds, such as sandhill cranes, distorted by fear and darkness. Others believe mass hysteria transformed ordinary events into legend. But many witnesses stood by their stories for the rest of their lives. They insisted the creature was real. Not human, not animal. Something else. Even now, decades later, Point Pleasant embraces the legend. There are festivals, statues, museums dedicated to the creature. And every year, visitors travel there hoping to experience something unexplained. Because maybe the most terrifying part of the Mothman story is not what happened in 1966, but the possibility that whatever people saw in those woods was never truly gone.